Breaking study. COVID vaccine genetic material integrates into the human genome and creates non-human chimeric DNA. Hey everybody, Johnny here. See me in the corner? In the northern lights up here? You like my background? It's pretty cool, right? Anyway, thought I'd show my face today since people have been complaining. We never see your face anymore, Johnny. Well, I'm kind of the voice in the wilderness. That's always kind of been my thing. So showing my face has never really been my thing. But today I thought I'd try it and see what you guys think. Now you can watch me slurp on my coffee and all the other stuff I do that you haven't seen behind the scenes, right? Anyway, Dr. Chris Shoemaker in this 2025 interview says that the chromosomal karyotype of people vaccinated against COVID has been genetically and permanently modified. Now, we've seen and heard about this before. But when I came across this today, I thought, man, we really need to reiterate. There's no detox protocol that works to get all of this out of your DNA, because your DNA, as these studies have shown, is permanently altered. You can't change it. You don't get to go back. You don't get to detox your very own DNA. It can't be done. So here we go. This is the first video that I'll show you on this particular subject.
So this is literally the first document.
See if it buffers here. There we go.
Direct evidence of genomic integration of mRNA vaccine genetic material. So we found a stage 4 bladder cancer patient. It was a 31-year-old woman, right? So this is a very rare cancer in this age group. Stage 4 bladder cancer.
Crazy.
Yeah. So she's got this turbo cancer, and so we did some molecular profiling. Looked at her circulating tumor DNA, ran some proteomics, what's called multi-omic analysis. So we looked at everything going on, but we identified in the circulating tumor DNA, in chromosome 19, we identified a chimeric segment of Pfizer Moderna genetic code, part of the spike encoding sequence from the DNA plasmid. Was literally integrated in chromosome 19, and it is a perfect 20/20 base pair match, perfect 20 nucleotide pair match of the Pfizer reference sequence to this sequence in chromosome 19, which is about a 1 in a trillion chance of this being an anomaly.
A 1 in a trillion chance of this being an anomaly. So they did this on purpose. It's obvious now. So it says here, our peer-reviewed study found an mRNA vaccine spike gene sequence fused into the chromosome 19 in a young stage 4 bladder cancer victim. Wow, stage 4 bladder cancer. And that's the thing with these cancers in relation to these vaccines. I mean, these are the most deadly so-called vaccines in history, right? And now we have all this turbo cancer that nobody wants to admit to it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to say that it's not normal. Everybody wants to just say, oh, this is just a new normal. Nonsense. Nonsense. In fact, let me show you something else. A book I've been reading for a while, off and on. I don't know if you can see that or not. This camera's kind of goofy with this background. But anyway, it's called The Poison Needle, Suppressed Facts About Vaccination by Eleanor McBean. I'll put a link to it over on Amazon on the website, dontspeaknews.com. But in this book, in the chapters I've been reading here in the beginning of it anyway, they talk about how vaccinations were the causes of all kinds of different cancers and diseases. They weren't curing anything. And in fact, this book goes way back to show that it never has. No vaccine has ever been safe and effective. And in fact, they've been responsible for the explosion of cancers over the years, starting, well, when they started, in this book anyway, they started documenting things from the 1950s on forward. But of course, they also went back all the way to the 1700s, showing how vaccination was bogus even then. And has never solved anything, and just keeps poisoning everybody over and over and over again. From the time we're born, right? They start jabbing stuff in our arms to keep us sick, to keep us weak, to keep us as patients for life, and to experiment on us. This is experimentation as well. So one peer-reviewed study found an mRNA vaccine spike gene sequence fused into chromosome 19. Okay, we covered that. And here's the charts if you want to study it more. Shocking statements for Dr. Chris Shoemaker. The chromosomal karyotype of people vaccinated against COVID has been genetically and permanently modified. Now let's check out this video here.
And because they were putting DNA into your body and allowing your body, 1/3 of the weight of every shot that went into you is deoxyribonucleic acid, which has the ability to cross into the nucleus of your cell. And once in there, something called transfection occurs. It's nothing to do with infection. Transfection just means uptake into the same bit of the body that has your genetic karyotype, your chromosomes. So these little DNA fragments get to sit right next to your chromosomes, be worked upon by certain enzymes, and the body just naturally start to make it part of you. And so that's what they found, sadly. They found that in liver cells of patients and many other tissue cells of patients, both alive and deceased, they have found that the person's karyotype / chromosome material is permanently changed. Their sperm cells, their ovary cells, their spleen cells, their immune cells in the middle of their bone marrow, they are all permanently changed and have genetic material that is not human, and it is certainly not their humanity. And so that's why the attacks occurs, ladies and gentlemen. The reason the attack occurs is it's as if you'd had a fresh kidney put into you, transplant. Of course, you've got no medicines to dampen down your immune response, and the body says, that's not my kidney anymore. It's got a bunch of foreign DNA in that kidney, and it's got foreign RNA flags, and it's got foreign spike, none of which is related to this person that I am. My immune system can do one thing and only one thing. It will go at and hammer at and inflame your kidney, or inflame your heart and turn it into myocarditis, or inflame and damage in your immune system, which means your immune system is poor, and you'll get other infections that you wouldn't have gotten, and you'll get other rheumatoid-like illnesses and severe rashes and other things that are wrecking your life. And in my case, tinnitus in my ears. So everybody's getting something. Everybody's getting something who have had, especially DNA. DNA, by the way, allows it to go on for 20 years as opposed to 15, 20 weeks. If it was just RNA, it'd be over and out of your system within 15 or 20 weeks. Because there's an element of DNA and its ability to replicate within you over time and repeatedly. That's why you've got people with spike proteins still in their body, and their last vaccination was 2.5 years ago, and they're still producing spike.
And don't forget that this spike protein crosses over the blood-brain barrier and is driving people insane. Hence, we see a lot more stabbings, a lot more assaults, a lot more just chaos in general, but a lot more murder, a lot more with the knives too. That seems to be the MO when the AI starts taking people over. And he's not even mentioning the AI that's built into the shots as well.
Why? Because their immune and genetic and cellular system has been attacked, and includes now material that is not theirs, and that's what the body can't stand. The body always attacks tissues that are inside it that are not of you. The scientists who made this knew this. You can't make something this nefarious and this capable of going to so many cells in so many ways if it's not purposefully and nefariously produced. That's my second reason for making my arguments, and they're well supported by science.
So you see, it's taking who you are and fundamentally changing it. Who God created you to be has been fundamentally changed permanently. You can't detox this stuff. This is why it's also the mark of the beast, because it's replacing God's signature with the signature of the beast, the signature of man. So that's what 666 stands for. It's a number of man. So Dr. Chris Shoemaker, as you just heard, he said 1/3 of the weight of each injection you received was DNA. I'm not going to try and pronounce that, which has the capacity to penetrate the nucleus of your cell. Unfortunately, it was discovered that in liver cells and many other tissue cells of patients, both living and deceased, the person's chromosomal karyotype has changed permanently. Their sperm, their ovarian cells, their spleen cells, their immune cells, in the center of their bone marrow, all have changed permanently and now have genetic material that's not human and certainly does not represent their humanity or God himself. And that, ladies and gentlemen, sums up this particular episode. I just had to share this with you. So, in case you've forgotten, you needed a refresher, or in case you've never heard this, I wanted to present this so that everybody could see it either again or maybe for the first time. But have no doubt that people who have taken these things have been permanently altered and into a non-human chimera, because that's what they have now, is non-human chimeric DNA. And it's been confirmed with multiple studies. This was just the latest one. So there we go. That'll be it for this particular episode. Don't forget, don'tspeaknews.com is home base for everything that we do. We have over 3,000 stories here now. Hard to believe. Been here 7 years as of the 4th of July. It'll be 7 years back in 2019 when I first began this website. Of course, Don't Speak News on YouTube has been around since 2017. But anyway, I put up a news story here from that you may want to take a look at about how Poland could quickly denazify Ukraine without firing a single shot, but their leader Tusk refuses to do so. Now, all they'd have to do is close the borders and stop the influx of weapons from NATO, and that could end this war real quick. But of course, that's not going to happen. And it shows here how, if it did, the war would be essentially over. And many more stories like it. Of course, once again, thank you for helping us stick around. Because of the support and the prayers that you guys sent over the past couple of weeks, we are going to be sticking around for at least another year, God willing. So we never know what's going to happen between now and a year from now, but God willing, we'll still be here. And that will be it for now. If you want to subscribe and contact me, you can click on this tab here. And you can contact me at Don't Speak News at Proton Mail. Type in your email address here into the box and click on subscribe, and then you'll be notified every time a new posting comes up. If you'd like to support us, we are listener supported only, like I always say. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. You can click on the channel support tab, and all the links are here. They're also at the end of every article that I post. I also put the links up there. So then Rumble, BitChute, and Telegram, you can click on that, and all the places to find us around the internet are right there. And that will be it for now. So let me know what you guys think about having this little pop-up box here with my head showing. And maybe I can change the background if you don't like that. I don't know. I decided to try it today and see what happens. Since I'd taken the tape off of my laptop camera for another reason, for a Zoom call that I had, the Zoom meeting last week. I thought, well, let's try that and see what happens, see what you guys think. So there you go. That'll be it for now. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.